Oh, hello. Welcome to YouTube. Many of you might know me from Instagram. P3LWO is where I gained all of my fame. When I say fame, I mean like 40,000 of you just decided to tag along and see me do stupid things that I probably shouldn't do in a way that I probably shouldn't have done them. But here we are. So let's get started. So, welcome. As I said, this is my first start on YouTube. Long story short, a lot of you guys were asking on Instagram to do more detail about the things that I do. The problem with the car that I had before, which many of you may know, would have been that GR Aris. I did things very early on, which meant that by the time there was a following of people who were interested in doing things, there wasn't really much left to do. So there was no point making a video series about it. However, things have changed. I've now got a fresh start with the car, and people seem to resonate with the kind of stupid stuff that I do. So I thought, why not start a YouTube channel, get you guys more involved. You can still check Instagram if you'd rather be on there. If you just want quick updates, then Instagram's the place to do it. That'll be short and sweet. If you have ADHD like me, then that's probably the best place to digest all the content. But if you want more detail, if you want some how-tos, I'm not gonna say there'll be how-tos on how to do them the right way, there'll be how-tos on how I do them, then by all means stick around here and I'll see what I can share with you. I'm Chris. I live just outside Glasgow. Been up here for 18 years now, 37, going through a midlife crisis, which has explained why I bought the car that I've got now as well. Obviously I'm getting old and I need to enjoy myself and get some wind in what's left of my hair before it all disappears. So yeah, I've been up here for 18 years. I am settled. Airdrie's not the nicest of places to be. I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty shit. Can I swear on YouTube? I don't know. I'm gonna keep it. We'll find out as we go if I just start getting told off for swearing. So I'll try and keep it to a minimum though, for your guys' sake. Yeah, Airdrie's not the nicest place to live. However, home is where the heart is. I settled here, made a family, got a son. I'm just kind of here. It's not ideal for a lot of car stuff. There isn't really a massive base here for selling parts or transporting things or going to shows. But there's a nice way of life here. It is quiet. I've got the Highlands on the back doorstep as well. I've got some nice driving roads. So it's a nice compromise for me at this stage of my life. I did consider moving back down to England, considered moving to places where there's a lot more automotive stuff to do the work that I do, but I didn't really want to be big cities and things either. So here I am. So what do I do? This is this lovely place here. You can't see it, I can see it. This is Phoenix Composites headquarters, if you want to call it that, and it's basically a 5x3 unit with no insulation, a big rolling shutter door, and it's cold, but there's space to do things. And the business Phoenix Composites that I went self-employed with recently is very messy. There's a lot of sanding, a lot of painting, but this unit means I can take it out of the house and I can basically expand, take on more work and finish stuff to a better quality as well. Phoenix Composites was named after my son. He's called Phoenix, so no surprises there. And it was supposed to be around carbon fiber stuff, basically carbon skinning for the most part. I'm gonna start looking into making more full carbon parts as well, but because the business is still so small, I'm trying to find the best kind of way to prioritize my time at the minute. At the minute, I'm literally just taking on jobs as and when they come. So it could be skinning, carbon repair, could be 3D printing, bespoke parts. There's all sorts that could be done, but because I'm a one-man band, I'm basically just taking on work as it comes in at the minute and then seeing where it goes. But over time, we'll hopefully start to see that focus into a more streamlined workflow. At that point, I can start maybe stocking products. I could maybe get e-commerce set up. There's a lot of possibilities, but for now, it's me sitting in here in the cold, sanding things until my fingers are numb. Yeah, that's basically it. I know a lot of you will probably know me from the Aris. You maybe not have met me personally, but the Aris has become internet famous, if you want to call it that. I don't know. I'm not big on the whole kind of social media influencer thing. I know it's a bit rich for me with the following that the account's got now, but honestly, I don't know how that happened. And it's incredibly flattering to have so many people follow along. All I did was go and spend a load of money on a car and make it silly and just do things that people hadn't done before. Like, as far as I know, it was the first car on air suspension in the world. That obviously was met with conflicting opinions. Some people didn't agree with what I did, but I'm very much of the opinion that if you want to do something, go and do it. Who cares what anybody else says? If you want to do something, go out and achieve it. And if somebody has an issue with that, that's their problem. And that's kind of been my mantra for the last few years, is just doing my own thing. And it's been nice, it's been fun. There's been some challenging times as well. Obviously, it all comes with its associated hate and things too, but I'm too old for that. I mean, I'm 37 now. I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, this person doesn't like me, because I just don't care. I'm just enjoying myself. I am trying to live my best life. And I don't know, maybe that's where you guys came from too. Maybe that's why a lot of you have stuck around. But I like to feel that I just want to enjoy cars for what they are. There's no competition here. There's no rivalries. There's no kind of toxicity. It's just fun. That's what cars should be. And that's why I went and got the MX-5. Got the MX-5 from Gav Baytek. Many of you may know Baytek. He stays up in Perth and he does some mad stuff with cars. He works offshore, but he also builds cars and fixes parts and tunes things himself and welds stuff up. And compound turbo K24 RX7, I think, was running like he was almost into the 8s down at Santa Pod. The guy's a genius, basically. I've got a lot of love for the guy. However, Gav, you scammed me. This MX-5 is like Swiss cheese. It is rotten. So I was sold it. Right, I was sold it with the premise of it just needs a couple of little patches welded. Fast forward a couple of weeks, did the deal, picked up the car, and I noticed that the tyres were all cracked because it had been sat for a while, been off the road for 18 months or something. And all the tyres were cracked. So I arranged more tyres. Tyre Streets UK, big help. Thank you very much to you guys yet again for working with me on this. Got a set of the new Armstrong Blue Track Race tyres on there. Great tyres. I think they're really good for a combination of road and track driving. A reasonable price as well. And fit the tyres onto a new set of wheels. I'm going to loads of plugs here as well, by the way. Weborg Engineering, if you guys need Koenig wheels, especially in the UK, he's actually cheaper to import from Sweden and pay import taxes on than if you were to buy them in the UK. So if you need them, it's Weborg Engineering. They helped me get a set of Koenigs on the car as well. The decograms in 17x8, which should fit quite nicely for a road wheel. So yeah, got the tyres on the car. But when we were fitting the tyres, another shout out, Reese, thank you so much for helping me do this as well, because I didn't have another car to put them in to transport them to get tyres fitted and blah, blah, blah. We noticed a lot of rust. And I mean like the amount of rust that you would probably think of disposing of the car. So that's why there's not been many updates until now. I do want to film things from the start. I'd like to be able to make videos, like a video series of the MX-5 and the state it's in and where it's going. But it is rough, and I can weld, not amazingly, but I can make stuff solid. But thankfully all the stuff's going to be hidden behind bodywork and stuff, so nobody's going to see it. But for what I paid for the car, I mean £800, £850. But it's a 2-litre Sport 2007 NC1. It's got the factory fitted LSD, leather seats, it's power retractable hardtop. Like it's a good spec of car. It's just rotten. And it's been sat for so long that it does need some work, needs some body work and things too. And my thoughts are, if I sell that car and go and buy another MX-5, because I do want an MX-5, if I sell that car and buy another one, who knows what else I'm buying. And it's a case of better the devil you know. I'm fortunate in that I can do a lot of the work myself, so I will do a lot of the work myself. But at the same time, I think most people would probably see the state of it and just dispose of it, scrap it, break it for parts, which I did consider. But I thought, no, I'm going to stick to this. I'm going to make it work. I'm incredibly stubborn, and I'm going to make this car a little belter. Now, many of you may be thinking that I bought all these parts before I got the car, and I probably shouldn't have done, and I probably should have looked at the car first and assessed what it needed. And you would be right, because that's exactly what I did, because I got ahead of myself and I knew what I wanted to do. I knew how I wanted to build it. So I started stockpiling parts and it's bit me in the arse. But it's okay, because we're gonna fix the MX-5. It's like one seagull. Anyway, we're gonna fix the MX-5. It's gonna be a great little car and I'm gonna enjoy driving again. It's not gonna be expensive. It's not going to be over the top to maintain. It's going to take some work to get it going, but once it's done, it's going to be a solid little car, which is what I'm looking forward to. Also got a K-Truck on the way. Again, I don't know if any of you guys saw updates on Instagram, but I've got a Suzuki Carry 1992 coming from Japan. My first car I've ever imported as well. That's going on a boat on the 30th. So by the time this video goes on, it'll be about a week till it goes on a boat. Then it's a long 3-month wait for it to get here. Then I need to get it from Newcastle to here. I need to get it registered. Got to go through all that stuff too. So there's a couple of people I've been speaking to, Lewis especially, Car and Mechanical. He's been a big help in explaining paperwork and things for me. So I'm quietly optimistic it'll get here and it'll be on the road for winter, and that will be my kind of workhorse then. I'll use that for all my work stuff. Fingers crossed. So I'll have the K-Truck, I'll have the MX-5, so much content to make. If that's what you guys are into, again, I'm open to feedback, because I'm not going to sit and do this if it's wasting everybody's time. But if you want to know stuff, if you want to watch stuff, or if you just want to get to know me, then let's do it. Let's make YouTube videos. This video is basically just a chance for me to introduce the channel, get off on the front foot, just explain to you what I want to do. And like I say, I want to build a community of you guys. Like, I'm not expecting this to be blow up overnight. Let's not be silly. At the end of the day, I am very new to YouTube. I've got a camera, the gimbal, a microphone, a light that I unscrewed from the roof to point at my face to try and help with the lighting a bit in here. Because at the end of the day, I'm in a metal box at the minute. But it's home, it's where I work from, it's where I am 7 days a week. So yeah, bring you guys inside, show you what I'm doing. If you like it, great. If you don't like it, also great. Feedback is a gift though. So if there's anything you want to see, anything you want to feedback or comment on, do let me know. And see if I'm wrong. I can't stress this enough. If I do something wrong, please tell me. Because I'm not an expert. I do things that work for me. There will always be experts coming out saying, you're painting that wrong, or you're using the wrong kind of brush, or you should set your spring rates to this much stiffer in the front than the rear, or you should change your anti-bowl bars. I get it. There are people with opinions. It's YouTube, social media. I do get it. Please don't take offense if I don't take all of this advice on board. I do have an opinion on doing things myself as well. However, I would love to hear feedback on stuff. So if you do know anything or want to tell me anything, just speak to me. I'm a nice guy, I think, sometimes. But let me know. I'm rambling on. This has been far too long. So just want to say thank you so much for the last 3 years. Thank you for helping me create these opportunities to do these things as well. Setting up the business and starting new adventures and meeting new people and all sorts. It's genuinely been a blessing having a lot of you guys helping me out with this stuff. I wouldn't be here without you, but let's see where this goes. Thank you for coming along. Thanks for hanging out. Next video is going to be, I don't know, there's a seagull banging on the roof. Don't know when the next video is going to be, but as soon as I have more stuff to share, I shall. Thanks for coming over. Peace. Who am I and what do I do? This sounds like a dating video. It's not a dating video yet. Maybe. We'll see what happens. Things that I've always wanted to do, but shush. Ice cream vans. Shop.